Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Nur Asrifah Kozimah. I am from the Primary School Teacher Education Study Program. Journal presentation, the 7th Profenedu 2022, University Muhammadiyah of Surakarta. In this next occasion, we will talk about innovation talent, development strategy, holistic multiple intelligences in learning assistant during pandemic elementary school level. The author of this article is Nur Asrifah Kozimah and Harun Joko Praitno. Ladies and gentlemen, table of content: 1. Introduction. 2. Research method. 3. Ratio and discussion. 4. Conclusion. Introduction. Talent or talent is an innate person from birth in this world. Every child has different talent. Elementary school age children still need assistance from teacher and parents to find out what talent students like. There are activities that can develop innovative talent, such as creating poetry, doing art activities, composing play, participating in competition, and so on. In addition to innovation talent, children's intelligence need to be developed because the two are interrelated. However, since the COVID-19 pandemic, talent development has been hampered because during the pandemic school carrying out online learning, so they could not carry out activity inside and outside the curriculum. This theory of multiple intelligences relates to holistic education, which helps students in achieving their capacities and goals as unique individuals. The idea of this theory plays an important role for teachers in using teaching methods that are practiced in the classroom in order to provide holistic education that is able to develop all human potential. Ladies and gentlemen, research method. This study used a qualitative research type with a descriptive approach. This research was conducted at SD Negeri 2 Jembungan Banyudono Boyolali. The subject of this study were teachers consisting of one principal and two classroom teachers. The data collection technique of this research are interview, observation, and documentation. Next, result and discussion. The form of developing student innovative talent are: 1. Linguistic intelligence. 31% of students have the ability to speak. 27% of students have the ability to write. 18% of students have the ability to listen, and 24% of students have the ability to read. 2. Logical mathematical intelligence. 20% of students have the ability to think critically. 30% of students have the ability to operate number. 20% of students have the ability to draw conclusion, and 20% of students have the ability to solve problem. 3. Kinesthetic intelligence. 22% of students have fine motor skill. 45% of students have the ability to work skillfully, and 33% of students have gross motor skill. 4. Musical intelligence. 24% of students have the ability to listen to song. 21% of students have the ability to memorize song, and 21% of students have the ability to make rhythm. Visual intelligence. 33% of students have the ability to read picture. 38% of students have the ability to make picture, and 29% students have the ability to imagine. Interpersonal intelligence. 27% of students have the ability to build closeness. 23% of students have the ability to influence others. 33% of students have the ability to build relationship with others, and 17% of students have leadership skill. And next, interpersonal intelligence. 35% of students have the ability to understand their own behavior. 13% of students have the ability to recognize their own emotion, and 35% of students have the ability to know themselves. Ladies and gentlemen, next, then the form of teacher innovation talent development are the ability to access data online, class management skill, the ability to make scientific publication, the ability to design learning, the ability to process data, the ability to operate a laptop or computer, and the ability to use communication media. The holistic innovation talent development strategy based on this form of innovation talent development is applied to grade 1 until 6 as follows. Class 1. The strategy of this form of innovation talent development in the first grade is to design project-based learning with the student's strategy of attaching pictures that match their name. This strategy is carried out in Indonesian, mathematics, and science subjects. Class 2. The strategy of this form of innovation talent development in the second grade in the form of student writing the order in making letter, and student can send assessment using chalkboard with parental guidance. Class 3. The strategy of developing this form of innovation talent in this grade is the use of this reading corner space where students make story of fun experience. Class 4. The strategy of this form of innovation talent development in the fourth grade in the form of students being able to make posters about how to wash their hands properly and students working on science test questions using Google Forms. Class 4. The strategy of this form of innovation talent development in 5th grade in the form of students working on AKM question using laptop or computer, and students can send assessment via WhatsApp group. Grade 6. The strategy of developing this innovation talent in grade 6 is that students can make electrical circuits in series or parallel, and students can do practice exam questions via the web or the internet. Ladies and gentlemen, conclusion. Based on the result of the study, it can be concluded that at SD Negeri 2 Jembungan Banyudono Boyolali, this form of student talent development is in form of multiple intelligence that each student has different. However, every student has multiple intelligence in a variety aspect of intelligence. Then, there are 7 forms of teacher innovation talent development that are applied with strategy in grade 1 until 6. Thank you very much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.